Good morning, students. Let's start chapter number 7, Glimpses of India. Actually, this chapter is divided into three parts: a bake from Goa, Korg, and tea from Assam. A bake from Goa is written by Lucio Rodrigo. So, actually, this is the chapter, the Glimpses of India. It was saying about the diversified culture of our country. The main thing of these chapters are that uh, the writer describe about a very small thing, very you can say that when the things that we are not noticed in our life, they have described about them. So these chapters are very special, and the language though that is used in these chapters are very good and very easy to understandable. So first of all, we will here first I will take the part one, the baker from the Goa. It is written by the Lucio Rodrigo. First of all, I will give the introduction of the writer of this chapter. Lucio Rodrigo is an Portuguese writer, and his the meaning of his name was actually his name was Aka Lagreto. It means lizard in Portuguese. So first of all, he was born in the October 26, 1980, and he was a black belter, black belt. He third degree black belt he had in the Brazil. It's a game he was playing. Its name is Jiu-Jitsu, and he was the fighter of MMA and BJJ, and he was teaching also in these games. He was, you can say, he was a coach of those games also. He currently lives in the coach in as a coach in the London, UK. Lucio was nickname was Lizardo means the lizard, okay, by the Macro Fintosa, who was just making a fun of his name. Actually, not as it, because they both are friends, so he was just joke, and then he was take his name like that. People not now use its compassion with his ability on the mat of his regeneration, or you can say capacity after his cancer. Means he was fighting with the cancer, and again he was like lived there. So this is the thing. He was a, you can say, he was very heavyweight champion nowadays. Brazilian game that he was playing. For that, his height was 6 feet 4 inches, 4 centimeters, 193 centimeters are there. So this is the thing about the writer. Now we will think just a small overview about the chapter. A baker from Goa is a pen portrait of a traditional Goan village baker who still has an important place in his society. The narrator is traveling through the memory lane, thinking about the loaves of breads and the bakers drive delivered every morning. So the chapter is very about that. Our elders are often heard the reminiscing nostalgical about those good old Portuguese days. The Portuguese and their famous loaves of breads. Those eaters of loaves might have vanished, but the makers are still there. We still have amongst us the mixer, the modular, and those who bake the loaves. Those age-old, time-tested furnace still exist. The fire in the furnace has not yet been extinguished, the third of the jingle of that. So here the traditional breaker's bamboo heralding his arrival in the morning can still be heard in some places. Maybe the father is not alive, but the son still carries on the family profession. These bakers are even today known as pedder in Goa. So here the writer wants to say that reminiscing nostalgicals matlab think, means thinking fondly of the past. Loaves Loaves bread that is shaped and baked in a single piece and can be sliced for the eating. Vanished means disappeared suddenly, completely. Modular, a person who modules uh, dough into a shape, and the furnace, an enclosed structure in which the material can be heated to the very high temperature. Extinguished, cause a fire to cease the burn, to burn. Then the pedder, word for bakers used in the Portuguese language. So now the story takes us back to the time when the Portuguese ruled Goa. They were immensely famous for their breads. The narrator often finds his elder thinking about those good deeds and telling them that the famous breads that date back to time when the Portuguese ruled over the Goa. They ponder over the past and tell them that though the Portuguese were left Goa, but the bakers of the bread still exist there nowadays also, if not in original ones. So the what happened? The now the person, those who are baking the previous time, they were died. So the writer said that legacy is there. The person, those who are just died, but their sons are there, and their legacy is being continued by their son. The bakers are still being referred as a peddlers. Everything about the baking is still the same. Baking from those days, model mold by the bread loaves to the furnace, which have survived the ravages of time. The sound of their arrival and the thud of their bamboo stick can still be heard just like the olden times. So this is the writer tradition said the tradition about the Goa.